Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. Today, Kyle Rittenhouse went to court for a pretrial hearing. It was the first hearing where he actually had to appear in court since his arrest. Only thing that was really done was some pretrial argument regarding deadlines for disclosures, and they set a trial date. It's still worth listening to. Take a look. Hope you enjoy it.
All right, the state against Kyle Rittenhouse. This case being live streamed on the cast and is also on YouTube. And I think there's only one participant other than court personnel on the Zoom. State's appearances.
The state appears by Assistant District Attorneys Thomas Dinger and Jason Zapp.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Rittenhouse appears by attorneys Mark Richards and Fraser Office.
All right, and here today, also appearing is a non.
Yeah, I'll help you. I'll help Your Honor. It's Anand Swaminathan, and I'm counsel for John Huber, the father of Kyle Huber. So he's logging on momentarily, but I don't think that prevents you from getting started.
Okay, there was another appearance just a second ago. There was someone. Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay.
Sorry. Good morning, Your Honor. This is Attorney Kimberly Motley appearing by Zoom on behalf of the estate of Joseph Rosenbaum and also on behalf of Gage Groceries. Good morning. I know my client Gage is trying to get on because there is confusion with it, so I'm trying to get him on.
I'll give it a few more minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, she was, the name popped up here, but maybe she changed her mind. Okay, and Mr. Huber, give him another minute. Well, let's proceed. Well, referring to the case of state against Kyle Rittenhouse, This is here for pretrial today. And, well, what's up?
Your Honor, we have picked a trial date of November 1st. The parties have been working on discovery issues. I think most of the discovery issues are resolved, although the defense has informed me they're requesting an additional item from the autopsy of Mr. Rosenbaum that I will get to them as quickly as possible. From my point of view, Your Honor, I think there are three deadline issues that we need to address at some point here. One is a deadline for the filing of motions. Counsel had proposed a deadline of July 1st, and I think that's reasonable with the court's approval. Second of all, it's my understanding the defense has some experts that they wish to use in this case. I would like to ask that a deadline be set for the disclosure of those witnesses, and then the state may need some time to identify potential witnesses to rebut those experts, depending on the issues. The third deadline question that I have is with regard to jury questionnaires. I think the parties are in agreement that this is a case where we will need jury questionnaires. That's going to be a process that's going to take some time to draft them up for the parties and to review them and come to some agreement on them. And then, of course, in advance of trial, we're going to need to build in time for those to be sent out and returned, and time for the parties to be able to analyze them before jury selection. So in my mind, those are the three deadlines we need to discuss. And I think the July 1st motion deadline makes sense. And I would propose that as an additional deadline for the defense to name their experts. But if they need more time than that, I certainly understand. In terms of the jury questionnaires, we have picked another status date of July 28th at 2 p.m. We picked that off the record with your clerk. And I think that we can perhaps narrow down the jury questionnaire timing at that point. I don't think we necessarily need to pick a deadline right now, but I do think that's something we need to keep in the back of our mind.
All right, Mr. Richards?
I agree with that, Your Honor. I think July 1st to have the motions filed is fine. I think disclosure of the experts, one of the experts, well, two of the experts is dependent upon getting some of the discovery that we still need regarding Mr. Rosenbaum. So when we receive that, I think we'll be able to know where we're going with that. So I'm a little hesitant to say July 1st to put forth experts. I can name them. I don't know that the reports will be done. There are some other outstanding discovery issues, but we're working through those. I spoke to Mr. Binger about them. I think those will resolve. We'll file a formal discovery demand with any motions seeking what we need before July 1st. I think that's a good way to handle it.
All right. So a date for the disclosure of the experts then, August 1st? Does that work?
The only concern I have, Your Honor, is I don't know who the defendant will be using. That's something they need to disclose today. But depending on the nature of who they identify and the subject matter, the state may desire to retain our own expert. And that process can take some time, not only to locate someone, but to retain them, to give them enough time to do their investigation, prepare a report as necessary. And this may also be a situation where one or both of the parties may seek to file a Daubert motion or some other type of motion seeking to disqualify the other party's expert. And we're going to need time for those potentially to be resolved. August 1st is only 90 days before trial. I don't think we would be able to get all those things accomplished in that short period of time. Now, if we need to adjourn the trial in the end, that's certainly something that can happen, but I do think we all wanted this November 1st date with the idea that we'd be able to get all these things done ahead of that and we wouldn't have to adjourn the trial date. So I'm not eager to adjourn the trial date. I want to build in enough time before the trial for us to accomplish all these things, and I don't think August 1st is going to be enough time.
Are you asking for the names or the reports?
Well, I think when a disclosure event, it's normally both at the same time, because without the reports, the names don't really mean much. So I would need the reports to know whether or not I'm going to want my own experts or whether I'm going to want to file a motion to exclude the defense experts.
And one of the things that we need is a witness list from the government, which is going to have a direct impact on that. I think we'll be able to comply with August 1st. I think if we could have August 15th, that would be better. I still don't have the x-rays. Two of the experts are ME type individuals.
Are what?
I'm sorry, ME type individuals.
Okay, okay. I'm an optimist. As anybody who's practiced here knows, that I don't like to assume that things will take as long as people think they will, and certainly not longer. So I'm inclined to, I think that the August 15th does crowd it a little bit with respect to the trial date. I'm going to stick with the August 1st that I had originally mentioned. And that's for disclosure of experts with report. And if there's some cogent reason why that cannot be achieved, then I will hear you on longer an extension, but that would be the exception rather than the rule, and let's anticipate everything will happen as we hope it will. I think I'm going to set a deadline, even though I don't know what the motions are. I'm going to set, not a deadline, that's the wrong word. I'm going to ask the clerk to set a motion hearing date, which will be very, very flexible to people all in the same place at the same time, and hopefully we can at least address some of the motions, maybe even all of them, and because the designation of experts, let's set that in early September, and then some of the motions I may choose to address sooner than that, and then the clerk will contact you and set something up.
Your Honor, with regard to the July 1st motion deadline, will the court allow potential motions challenging experts to be filed after August 1st? Because we wouldn't be able to file them until we know who the experts are.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I wanted to set the date in September. Set a date in early September.
So on Friday, September 10th?
That is my normal court week in branch 2. I could do the following week.
What about the previous week, September 3rd?
Friday before Labor Day.
It is, that's why I missed it. That's why I missed the time.
That's what works. Wait.
I can go to the following week after the 10th if you want. No problem with that.
Yeah, we are.
Even if that's okay, I can go to the 17th.
Fine.
I have September 17th, I can do 10 o'clock.
Works for me.
That's fine, thank you.
What was it, September?
September 17th at 10 a.m.
It's Constitution Day. Jury questionnaires, you say you're working on those. I want to set a deadline for that. Do you have any ideas?
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say if we had to add the jury questionnaires to Your Honor by August 1st.
Is that agreeable?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. I know it's a long way out, and you've got a lot of work you are yet to do, but have you got a general idea as to the length of the trial?
Well, we set aside 2 weeks, Your Honor. I think we'll get it done in that time period. I don't think we'll take up the full 2 weeks.
I agree. I mean, obviously I haven't seen their witness list. So.
All right. Did we leave anything undone? Is there anything else we need to address?
Well, I'm just wondering if we should do a status date after the August 1st date. We have to address it, and then I'll just wait till September.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Can we delay everything until the 17th of September?
I think so.
That's fine.
Sure.
So that 7/28 date is off, and motion day is, and the pretrial will be the 17th of September. Okay, anything else?
No.
No, not from us, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy the day.
Thank you.